Hello all, it's James Johnson, aka Sulfurblade, and I'm back here with Conqueror's Blade. And I think this video is going to be my Conqueror's Blade review video. Though I think it's strange to be reviewing a game that's in open beta. It is an open beta. So this is an open beta review. Just putting that out there. The game obviously still has development to go and will likely be changing in the future going forward. Now, here I am at the auction house, which is just one of the giant problems of this game. First off, it has an auction house, which that's like checkbox number one against the game for me. I hate auction houses. But this auction house is even worse than most auction houses. So if we go ahead and take a look at it, you're going to notice that there's all these pending sales. And I'm not sure what the point for pending is, but what pending means is that the person put it up for sale, and it's not actually up for sale. And you're saying, oh, so this is the bidding period. This is when people bid on this stuff. No, that isn't that at all. There is only one bid, and that's the sale price. So this is not technically an auction house where you're actually bidding on stuff. This is just a flat out auction house where you're selling for the asking price. The pending process is a 4-hour time period. For unknown reasons, for your sale to actually go to the for sale state, which is annoying. So that's issue number one. I'm assuming it's to keep people from using the auction house as a way to trade, because for some reason they seem to be against trade in this game. You can't walk up to your friend and give him this piece of gear that you found that would help him. No, there's no way to trade in the game. So if you were to, say, use the auction house as a way to trade and say, I'm going to put this piece of equipment up now, and your friend who's, on voice chat or whatever is like, oh, okay, I'll be ready to get it now. And so you do the whole trade via the auction house thing, right? Well, you can't do that because of this pending thing. It's going to end up being put up 4 hours after you say, but it's not 4 hours on the dot. It's 4 hours and 5 minutes. It's a little under 4 hours. It's like they've purposely have gone about obscuring the time that your item is going to actually go from the pending state to the first sale state. And I don't know why. I don't understand the thought process behind this. It's like they've seriously put an effort into stopping something. But the only something I can figure out is trading. And for the life of me, I don't understand what they have against trading. But it's like, that's me. So the next issue with the auction house that I find quite annoying is the fact that, say I want to sell something. I don't have anything on me to sell right now, but it gives you a set range. Like when I sold this here, or when I haven't sold it yet, it hasn't actually sold, I could only put it up for 7,500 at the minimum to 15,000 at the maximum. And so there's this, they call it a recommended price range, but it's a mandatory price range. There's no recommendations about it. It's a guaranteed price range. You can't mark it under, you can't mark it above. If I wanted to sell this for 1 silver, I can't. If I wanted to sell it for 1,000 silver, I can't. If I wanted, you get the point. I could keep giving examples. So I've put this up here for the least amount of silver I can put it up here, and it's been here for a while. Nobody's buying it because, frankly, it's too much silver for the weapon. It's not a worthwhile purchase. I put it up here in the hopes that maybe I might sell it after 3 days. This was a 3-day listing. I'm down to 1 day and 7 hours. Maybe I'll sell this if I get lucky. Somebody might decide they really need this weapon and fork over the silver, though I doubt that's going to happen. But who knows? Maybe it will. But I would rather sell this for about 2,000 or 3,000 silver, because that's really what it's worth, if it's even worth that. And then there's objects like skill pages. These skill pages, nobody can buy them. Somebody's buying them, obviously, but not the normal person. So I don't even have my type of skill page listed. I'm a longsword and shield user, so there's none up on the auction house right now. But like, for example, this 1 hour, less than 1 hour pending for dual blades, there is, I guarantee you, there's some dual blades that are standing next to the auction house right now, salivating over this skill page, because you need 5 skill pages to unlock the first level of your ultimate skill. And then there's another 5 skill pages you need after that for the next level of your ultimate skill, and more skill pages after that for the final level of your ultimate skill. So you need these skill pages in order to progress your character. They're really in demand right now. But the most you can sell them for is 1,500 silver. I don't know why somebody listed one for 750. This is a new player. This is an item that would sell for way more than 1,500 silver, but we don't have the option to sell it for more than 1,500 silver. We have to sell it for at the most 1,500 silver, which it's worth way more than that. People would give their left arm and their left leg in order to buy these. But we have no option to price something what it's worth. The game dictates what we price, which it blows. It really, really blows. Not to mention, as I was going to point out, people, or at least we think people are using bot programs to quickly purchase items when they're ready. So I sat here yesterday when a whole bunch of my skill pages were up, ready to go, clicking on this search thing over and 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 over, waiting for one to turn green. And the moment it would turn green, I'd click and it would say, sorry, that's already been purchased. Now, about the only way I could have been beaten, well, there's probably, several other people doing the same thing I was attempting to do. Or there's the people that are running a third-party program that, does the whole clicking for you to make the purchase. And anyway, there's suspicions people are doing that, and I wouldn't doubt it. I really wouldn't, because of the value that this item is and the need. It just wouldn't put me past it that somebody's using a bot program in order to purchase these items. We should be able to price these at whatever price that we deem necessary. If we wanted to put them up for 150,000 silver, we should be able to put them up there because people would probably pay it. And it would also change this whole bot program thing, because right now you can run the bot program on this and you're guaranteed to get an item at a cost that, well, it's cheap. It's cheap. You could walk away from your computer and just leave the bot program running over and over and over, and if it buys 1, great. If it buys 2, great. If it buys 5, great. If it buys 10, oh my god, it's wonderful. Even if it bought 50 and you ended up with like 30 extra because you don't have that many skills to apply them to, it doesn't matter because they're so cheap that you could overbuy and you'd still come out on top because of this sheer silly low cost that they're forcing us to sell these at. All right, let's continue on. So I've decimated the auction house, and it needs to be decimated. That's one of the big problems with this game right now. I have a list here somewhere. Where did I put that list? Aha. So here's your equipment, right? So durability is a real issue. All of these items that I'm wearing here, I got yesterday. Now let's try to figure out what exactly that means. And I haven't done that many battles since yesterday. I've been kind of winding down in my lust to play the game. I'm only level 71. Yesterday when I was filming, I think I was level 68, maybe 69. So that's only a 3-level change, and one might say, well, that's because it's getting harder to skill up between the levels. No, it's remained pretty constant, and usually takes about 4 to 5 games to skill up. Pretty standard. I could do that in an hour. Pretty easy, get a level an hour. That has been pretty much the easy to maintain leveling increment time is 1 level an hour. Has been fairly easy to do. So yesterday I really only leveled for 3 hours. Where days prior to that I put in a lot longer periods of time, obviously, because I made much more dramatic leaps in level. And that's basically because I'm winding down with my enthusiasm for the game. You can only do the same things so many times before you start to get bored. Now, let's get back to the point of what I'm talking about here. Durability on equipment. Now, how can I show you durability? Let's open up the auction house. And we will find... Okay, Redeemer's Bracers. That one's brand new. It has 96 endurance. Here's the one that I have on my person. It's got 29 endurance and it's in poor shape. Basically, when I'm in a match, if I get hit 3 or 4 times and this item takes any endurance loss, those piercing, slashing, blunt, and critical values will plummet very quickly, because my piece of gear doesn't have much endurance. And so let's say after the battle I come out with 20 endurance of 29. You can notice that the piercing defense, slashing defense, and blunt defense will be lower than what they're currently listed, because as the endurance goes down, so does the protection. Um, so does the protection values. So literally, if you have a piece of equipment that's in bad shape like this, and people are hitting you in battle, your actual defense stats are actually lowering in the middle of battle. Whereas if you have equipment that's in better repair, it takes a while for that endurance to go down to a level in which it's considered worn, because worn equipment is when you start to translate uh, damage in the game actually affecting how much protection that piece of equipment is giving you in the game in real time. So let's look at armor. I've currently got military advisor's armor on, so here's a military advisor. I'm looking at a blue one compared to a green one, but you can see I'm down to 146 endurance already on this piece of gear. And this is a very, well, I just made this piece of equipment yesterday. It's taken, almost 50 endurance loss since yesterday, and I haven't played that many games. So, damage to equipment is a real problem in the game. It makes you not want to upgrade your equipment because your equipment is basically disposable. It's like it's not gonna last, and that is a problem. I think a set of gear should last a week at least, not a day. And currently the way durability works in game, equipment is lasting about a day, not a week. Units. Units are one of the big things you play for in the game, right? You want to level up your units because having better units makes you stronger. And if you can make your crappy cheap units better, then maybe your crappy cheap units can stand toe to toe with a non-leveled, more expensive unit. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. So I have these level 12 elite woodcutters. You see how the XP bar says it can still fill up? Well, these guys just became level 12. Now let's show you where they're there. Level 12 elite watchman. See that XP bar? It's full. See the XP listed? It's more than the XP needed to level up. Huh. These should have become these watchmen here should have become level 13, right? They should have gotten a perk point, right? There's still places I can assign perk points on this unit tree, but I can't because units max out on level 12. But why? What's the point for it? Why can't we go beyond level 12? I mean, the player can infinitely level, but the unit can't? I mean, what would be wrong with the unit being able to level up its entire unit tree? What would be so bad about that? It would give people a reason to keep playing. Right now, my elite watchmen are max leveled. I wanted to fill this tree up. I wanted to make elite watchmen, but I've made as elite of elite watchmen as I can make. Now I've lost a little bit of luster for playing the game. My elite watchmen are done. Why should I continue to play? I'm level 60. which means I'm done. I don't get any more attribute points. This unit doesn't get any more attribute points. What more do I have to play for? I don't really. So that's another issue. The open world. As you've seen in other videos, there's not much to do in the open world. You can go gather some resources, and that's just basically paying some money to get a new form of currency in the form of copper or iron, because it's not really copper or iron, it's really a currency called copper or iron that you then throw into purchasing unit kits, and with the unit kits you build new unit types. So there's no real crafting system. No, there's just a system of converting one currency to another form of currency. It's not much of a crafting system. It's actually a very lame crafting system. Any type of crafting system that is a process of converting one currency to another form of currency is, well, a lame crafting system. It's one that doesn't require much thought. It's a lazy implementation of crafting. Matchmaking. Well, matchmaking is unbalanced. You could be level 20 and you could end up facing max leveled people. And that's just the way it is in this game. Matchmaking is just crazily unbalanced. Searching in the auction house. Let's say I wanted to find a sword. Oh, too many search results. Please be more specific. A short sword? Huh. Nothing here. Really? Nothing? How about longsword? No, nothing. How about capital L in longsword? Well, what do you know? Things popped up. Really? The search function is capital specific. Why? Seems a bit obtuse. This is like the year, we're well past the technology to not make something that's supposed to be user-friendly this obtuse. That I actually have to put a capital letter in to use a feature that's supposed to be there to make things easier in life. Weapon skill pages being bound. Oh, this one really annoys me. Let's go take a look at something here. Oh. So these weapon skill pages that are so valuable. I got some here somewhere. Where are they? Oh, right here. There's a Nodachi skill page. Look what it says. It says bound. Here's a longsword and shield skill page. Woohoo! I've got one of the pages I need for myself. Notice I have two of these. I don't need them. I have a spear skill page that's bound. What do I need that for? Why are these bound? Why are they bound? Because they came out of a chest. So I did my weekly quests all the way through, and I got here to this Marshal chest, right? And in the Marshal chest, it contains 3,000 bronze coins, 600 honor, 4 vault keys, and 2 skill page chests. Awesome skill page chests, right? That means I'll be able to get 2 skill pages I need for myself. No. They're random skill pages. Oh, okay. Well, I can make some money off of them by selling them on the auction house if they're not for me. Nope, they're bound. Wait, what? What kind of reward is that? 2 skill page chests that are absolutely useless for me. Amazing reward. 2 thumbs up. Okay, so these are my main gripes that I have about the game. And ultimately, here's my last gripe. Hey! My last gripe I'm going to show in this review is this. I'm going to actually go and I'm going to do a siege battle. We're going to finish this review with a siege battle. Because this is what you do in this game. I just queued up for a siege battle. That is 99% of this game, is to queue up for siege battle. There is nothing else to do. I could go out into the real world and run all over the place looking for crates and carts and derelict huts, and I might find 3 after an hour of running around, and typically they're going to give me a small pouch of bronze coins. What a complete waste of time. Or I could do something else in town. Wait, there isn't really anything else to do in town. Town is just here to facilitate this. The real world has one major function, and that is to allow giant guilds to do battle with giant guilds in the battle for territory. And that's great if you're part of a giant guild. And this game is great if that's your thing, to be part of a giant guild, taking part in the territory translations. But if you just want to play an MMORPG as not part of a mega guild, then there's not much in this game for you other than what I'm doing right now, queuing up for the siege battle. This is the entire point of the game for 99% of the player base. I'm attacking. This is the entire point of the game for 99% of the player base. If you're not part of a huge elite mega guild, you're not part of the epic elite, this is what you're going to end up doing for your fun. And this is fun. Don't get me wrong, these siege battles are a blast. They're a whole lot of fun. As you're gonna watch, I'm going to have a good time taking part in this battle. Now take a quick look at the matchmaking here. We've got a level 19 on my team. I'm a level 71. That seems to be the range on my side. On the other side, there's a level 21, and the other side's high level is a level 64. So it looks like There's one person level 60 or better on the other side, and we have me as the only person 60 or better on my side. So kind of even from that regard. But I probably have an advantage over that other guy just because I've got slightly better gear and troops. Well, not troops. I don't invest in my troops.
The middle siege tower is preparing to advance.
Hey!
The right siege tower is preparing to advance.
Get going! Fight!
The right siege tower is advancing. The middle siege tower is advancing.
Alright, didn't make it on the wall this time, but there's always next time.
Our battering ram has reached right siege tower. The middle siege tower has reached the walls. Their gate has been destroyed.
Follow me!
The left siege tower is preparing to advance.
Go!
The left siege tower is advancing.
Hey! Attack! Hey!
Get on cap, you fucks.
captured the point. Our team is about to capture the final flag.
And that was a cheesy victory, but that's the victory nonetheless. Alright, and so that's an average game of, it's an average siege match inside of Conqueror's Blade. And it's a lot of fun, it's very enjoyable. Alright, what's taking so long? That's another current problem with the game, but it's open beta and I don't want to exactly discredit it because of technical issues, but there are a fair share of technical issues inside of this game. Currently, you can experience some really crazy lag inside of the game that causes some bizarre things to happen, from your person being completely invisible to you hitting nowhere near where you're supposed to be, like your sword has all of a sudden become capable of swinging 20 feet, to people just becoming flat out invincible and can't be killed. Those are just some of the more minor technical issues, to be honest. Am I ever going to get out of this battle? I did press exit, right? Well, I guess we'll end the video on this note. This seems as apt of any place to finish a review video on Conqueror's Blade, and that's with a technical issue. Conqueror's Blade, from a fun perspective, is fun. It's a very enjoyable game, and since it's free to play, that is a really decent price. I mean, how can you go wrong with playing a game for free? Uh, the issues that Conqueror's Blade has is that it's very repetitive. It ends up becoming very much like playing World of Tanks or War Thunder or any game like that where you do the same matchmaking type thing over and over and over again all day long. And well, that's what you end up doing is siege battles over and over and over again all day long. And there's a couple of different siege battles, and so you get a change of looks. Sometimes you're attacking, sometimes you're defending. You know, it gives you some variety from that standpoint, but ultimately, when you've done them all a few hundred times, it does get old. And because that part of the game is 99% of the game, um, the MMORPG acronym that this game is trying to portray, it just isn't accurate. This is not an MMORPG. An MMORPG is a massive multiplayer online role-playing game. It's something that has a big, large open world. And while this does have a big, large open world, there's nothing to do in it. The open world is pointless. This is really a matchmaking team deathmatch type game, more than anything, and it's fun. It is fun. Don't get me wrong, but it does get old. It does get repetitive. It does get boring. So I give the game 2 thumbs up from a fun perspective when you're not bored of it. I give the game 2 thumbs down from the perspective of that it gets old. And ultimately, the game is riddled right now with performance issues, bugs, you name it. And not to mention all the things I went through in this review are things that the game needs to improve, from its auction house system to durability loss to trading. There's just a whole host of things that are suboptimal and poor about Conqueror's Blade. But it does have the most important thing a game can have going for it, and that is the fun factor. The basic core portion of this game is fun. So that's my review of Conqueror's Blade. So take it how you want to take it, with a grain of salt or whatever. Conqueror's Blade is something you should give a try. It might be your cup of tea. It might not be your cup of tea, but I definitely say it's worth at least giving a try. Anyway, I'm Jaames Johnson. This is my content. Hopefully you're appreciating my content. If so, leave a like and subscribe. And until next time, all, peace.